reports.
With a war still being waged on the streets of the capital, many Jamaicans descended on supermarkets today to stock up for what may be a while inside their homes. At the Brooklyn supermarket, with just about an hour before closing time, shoppers were grabbing the essentials. Most people came looking for bread, but there was none. The operators of the supermarket say they've been doing brisk business all day.
Due to the circumstances, you think there was a hurricane coming because it's been totally packed all day. From the cashier, go right down the aisle, solid. We have our merchandisers, in-house merchandisers have been restocking the shelves. We didn't get any deliveries on breads or other baked goods today because, of course, nobody came to work. But what we had from Sunday has been sold off.
Shoppers said they weren't sure what would happen next, so they were preparing for all eventualities.
I'm basically preparing myself for whatever might happen because when you listen to the news, it's an unsurety. So you have to be careful.
Over at the Mega Mart shopping center on Waterloo Road, shoppers were also stocking up on several days of essential supplies.
Today has been an exceptional day. The shopping has been extremely busy. You could compare it to when we have a hurricane warning. That's how it has been all day. We are actually doing much shorter opening hours today at our Kingston and Portmore locations. We normally would close at 10 p.m. or we are closing at 4 p.m. The concern is getting our staff home before it gets dark because of all the uncertain things that are happening.
As evening descended and supermarkets started to close, several shoppers were left on the outside as they were too late. Meanwhile, overnight, looters struck downtown, robbing several stores. Shop owners in Halfway Tree, them fearing a similar fate, reinforced with storm shutters before they left this evening. Keneal Gale, TVJ News.
And the Mayor of Kingston and Councillor for the TVJ Gardens Division, Desmond McKenzie, joins us live. Desmond McKenzie, you have strong links in TVJ Gardens. Your thoughts first on the operation by the security forces.
Well, good evening and thanks for having me. It is an unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate that the community again is exposed to this level of trauma and loss of life. It is something that we will have to work to overcome, and it is something that we must ensure don't happen again to the community. So at this point in time, the only thing that I can do is to mourn and to help to bear the suffering that the people in the community in West Kingston in general is experiencing at this time.
Now, callers at the talk shows have been complaining all day about the actions of the security forces. What have the residents been saying to you?
We have been getting a number of calls from the wider constituents about certain level of abuse and certain atrocities that is being carried out by the security forces. We have been working to ensure that every complaint that we receive, that we took the necessary steps to ensure that we address those complaints. We have been successful in some areas to get assistance to persons who require those services. We have been able to get medical help to persons who require medical help. And we have been speaking with the security forces to explain to them that the concerns of the community. I, in fact, experienced something this morning to a person who was being detained, and I had to jump on it immediately. We know of some of the things that are happening.
Elaborate on what you're talking about.
It was a resident who was caught up in a building who was afraid to come out because he feared for his life. While we were on the telephone speaking on the matter, he was approached in a violent way by the soldiers, and I heard in the background instructions were being given what they must do with him and all that sort of thing. Well, thank God he's okay. But the community is going through a traumatic experience as I speak. I want to assure them that a number of things is being done to ensure that their liberties and their rights are protected. Tomorrow morning, the Red Cross through AdPen will be coming into the various communities in West Kingston to provide the necessary food, because there's a shortage of food. We're going to be trying to deal with the issues of young babies who are without proper clothing, etc. So come tomorrow, we are going to be putting a more human face to the concerns of the people of the community, and we will try to ensure that those persons who want to go to work, those persons who want to leave the community, once we are able to ensure working with the security forces, we're going to be doing everything in our powers to ensure that their civil liberty and their rights are not trampled upon, and that they are able to go about their lawful business while the security forces conduct their operations.
Backtrack for me. You're talking about here about the ensuring that the human rights of the citizens and the residents are observed. You spoke of one instance there. Based on what you've seen in the community, are you convinced that there are other cases of residents that have merit?
Of course, there are other cases.
Plenty of cases?
I can't speak to the magnitude of the cases, but the reports, under the state of emergency, it is difficult for me to go into the area because I don't want to be accused of interfering while the security forces carry out their duties. But we have set up a mechanism where our telephone number 866-9216 has been given, and I'm also going to be giving 9486337, a number that the community, that the West Kingston area, which includes Tivoli, Denham Town, Anna Town, Fletcher's Land, that the people can call in to tell us, because we are not going to be able to garner all that information if we don't get those information coming from the residents. While we appreciate and understand that we're going to get some information that might not be credible, but 90% of what we are getting are information that we are acting upon, and we are going to ensure that despite all that is happening, that people's rights, people's property, many homes, the doors have been kicked off, the furniture have been destroyed, and we are going to be working with it, and that is why the Prime Minister set up this team headed by the public defender, the political ombudsman, and the Red Cross. They went into the community. They weren't able to cover all the communities, and I want to assure those people who never had a chance to speak directly to those persons that they are still open, and we are going to be doing